Hello and welcome. My name is Duke-Woolley. I'm the CEO of analyst firm Beecham Research, and I'm speaking with Remi de Fouchier, who is Vice President Strategy, Marketing and Innovation at Thales DIS. That's Thales Digital Identity and Security. So welcome, Remi.
Thank you. Welcome all.
So I'm talking about Thales's approach to the IoT market. There have been many projections about how the IoT market is growing, and it is growing. Just to take one, Ericsson's projection of over 5 billion cellular IoT connections by 2028, and Omdia report that 83% of enterprises are deploying multiple IoT projects. So both of these point towards much larger and more varied IoT deployments over the next few years. So Remi, given this growth and this context, what does Thales see as key trends that need greater support over the next few years?
Yeah, first of all, we share your enthusiasm and as well the analyst enthusiasm over this very attractive and developing market. And therefore, this is our estimations that this is a promising market. But more importantly than the volumes, what we think is that this is an addition of many different segments or verticals or use cases, and that they will have specific requirements in terms of energy consumption, in terms of security, in terms of interoperability or scalability. And some of these key agenda items, they are already addressed, as you know, by standardization. One of the important market evolution that we see is that somehow traditional OEMs, they are shifting from selling a device to more device as a service model, and they want to enrich their hardware business with digital services. We can think of predictive maintenance, you can think of consumption monitoring or data analysis. And of course, they also want to reduce as much as possible their carbon footprint, which is as well a very, very strong Thales objective. Last but not least, by increasing the number of connected devices and the data they generate, we increase as well the attack surface. And security, for security sensitive or privacy sensitive verticals, is an important element that must be taken into account from the design of the device to the overall life cycle of the data consumed and produced. And for sure, security, sometimes we often hear that it is expensive, but it is an insurance, and it is protecting brands from potential heavy reputational damages and legal damages.
Yes, okay, and that's really great. And what would you see are the key challenges for enterprises when deploying IoT services?
So we have the privilege of having already collaborated with hundreds of OEMs and IoT service providers, and we can group these challenges into three categories that we summarize around run, build, and protect, right? So build cover designs, run means production, deployment, and maintenance, while protect encompasses the continuous virtuous cyber security, right? And without an adequate approach, each of those different steps, they present challenges. Build, well, for build, you need to stay in the driving seat in terms of connectivity choices and number of SKUs, right? This is an horrible name for the variant of devices. Run, well, you have this complex logistic to serve different geographies, different market during installation, during deployment, with on-site labor, with truck roll for initial setup, or to fix issues during the life cycle. And therefore, you know, definitely some benefit of deploying with cellular in terms of deployment and coverage. They are real, they are there, and that also explains the enthusiasm for this technology and the growth of the market. And protect, definitely, this is the cyber-proof journey from the production line to long-lasting operations. You know, it's not protect once, it's protect all along the life cycle of the device.
That's great. Yeah. Okay. So what's your approach to address these challenges?
So I think we want to be concrete on our product and service range to answer these challenges. First, on the build, when designing your device, we are proposing a range of industry grade, standardized, future-proof hardware to securely connect these devices. It starts with MIM, which is also a horrible term, but stands for ruggedized SIM, and it will evolve towards what we call eSIM and iSIM, which allows more flexibility to manage connectivity on the field. For the run, our connectivity suite enables a secure, resilient, and cost-effective connectivity from production to operation, right? And this is what matters. And our solutions, they want to help you, IoT OEM and service provider, to manage the initial connectivity with fully automated out-of-the-box experience, and then all across the device or service lifecycle. So we need to take into account certain situations where you will need to adapt your connectivity plan for best coverage, for best tarification, for flexibility, and for sustainability. Lastly, on Protect, we have our cyber protection suite to protect IoT devices' identity and data generated from factory, starts with factory, to the field, and from the edge to the cloud.
Yeah, that's a lot. So from a Thales perspective, what are the opportunities arising in the new IoT specifications?
So first, let me start by saying that we have a clear view of the current pain points and unmet needs when deploying IoT projects, which is due to our long experience working with customers on these issues and also being involved in the cellular and telecom industry for a number of decades. Today, IoT players that we meet, IoT service providers as well, they are eager to get more simple and fluid solution while protecting their assets and data. The assets and data that are generated and exchanged through the life cycle of these devices. So the market is requiring more simplification, more orchestration, and the level of relevant or adapted security to the needs. So we are typically leading, Thales is leading the progressive convergence towards what you call the consumer infra, and it will make the ecosystem more fluid and simple with pre-certified, pre-integrated component as well as reference design. So our solutions can be plugged into the existing manufacturing process to provision the connectivity and security keys directly on the product line. And finally, the rule of the game will be to reach the best compromise between the optimized TCO, another ugly acronym for total cost of ownership, optimized TCO, security, and cyber protection and adaptation to each market segment constraints.
That's very interesting. So, how do you intend to position Thales in the IoT ecosystem? In other words, is there anything new that Thales is bringing?
Well, first of all, a bit of promotion on Thales. You know, we are there with we have a long history with our customer, notably in the telecom industry, with 450 MNOs around the world. We are present in more than 68 plus countries. We have hundreds of OEMs who are already happily equipped with our products, right? Secondly, the cyber security expertise that we have and that we've been building is really there. We are suppliers of the top 5 public cloud service providers, and you've probably heard that we've acquired recently, or we are in the process of acquiring a company called Imperva and in the US, and this will position us in terms of cybersecurity in the tier 1 supplier for security and cybersecurity globally. So on the 5G expertise as well, we have been leading the effort there. And we are simply your partner of choice to simplify your IoT deployments, allowing you to remain in the driver's seat at each step of your project and ensure your devices are well connected and well protected.
That's very good. So thanks very much, Remi. That's very interesting. And that's the conclusion of this video.
Thank you very much, Robin.